The Blockchain Show is a podcast that demystifies cryptocurrencies and distributed ledger technology.
Hello, blockchain fans. Hello, it's Ian here, and welcome back to the Blockchain Show. Thank you very much for downloading. There's lots going on in the blockchain world, and today we're speaking to a lady called Jessica. Jessica is actually in Florida. Hello, Jessica.
Hello, Ian. Thanks for having me.
Not a problem at all. We're actually both in Florida. I'm in Orlando, and we've had some very cold weather lately. We've had to put jumpers and even gloves in some cases. It's
cold by Florida standards, but nothing to complain about compared to the rest of the country.
Nothing like Chicago, where anything was freezing. Throwing buckets of water in the air, or even picking up your spaghetti while you're eating outside. But anyway, enough of stuff I've been watching on Facebook. Jessica, please tell us about your company and what you're doing and how the blockchain is helping you.
Yeah, for sure. So we're excited to have launched 81C. 81C is a business where we're making entrepreneurship an asset class. So we have launched a security token offering, one of the first. And the reason that we are doing this is so that anyone in the world has the opportunity to invest in businesses that normally wouldn't have been available to the public. We believe that there's enough value in the world created that everybody should be able to have the piece that they need in order to live the life that they choose. And entrepreneurship is the greatest economic driver in our world. And so we have created a model leveraging a security token that allows people, everyday people all over the world, accredited investors, non-accredited investors in the US, anybody who has money to invest to own a piece of small to medium-sized businesses all over the world.
Okay, so that means that, is this a bit like Shark Tank or Dragon's Den, where people pitch ideas and then other people can just pitch in a little bit of money to support ideas? How does it actually work?
So 81C is an operating company. So you'll be buying the security token of 81C. And 81C owns and operates the different businesses that are underneath the business units that are within our company. And so we work with entrepreneurs who are looking to leverage the benefits of a public market and who want to be a part of an ecosystem of entrepreneurs and investors who are supporting this vision that we have for financial inclusion. They come into our company and run the business unit that is their subject matter expertise. The first company within our business, the business unit, is a grant writing business called Williams Grant Writing. It's been in operation for quite a number of years and is in scaling mode right now. And so we've had about 100% growth year over year for the past 3 years. That was a business that was actually started by my business partner and his wife years ago, and we've been scaling it. And it is, ripe for the opportunity that we have at 81C, which means that at a private market valuation, people would be able, that we have acquired the business basically into 81C, and people will be able to invest in owning a piece of that and all of the other business units that make up the overall business of 81C.
That's fabulous. And so if anybody's got any spare money down the side of the sofa or invested in Bitcoin, and quite frankly, you're waiting for it to go back up to 20,000 and it hasn't happened, then perhaps this is something to invest in. What about you? How did you get into this?
So funny enough, I had no idea even 2 years ago what a security was, let alone a security token offering or the blockchain. I worked in global advertising in New York and Los Angeles for about 10 years out of college, working with clients, national and global brands. In 2012, my father committed suicide. It was a very sudden and obviously tragic thing for my family. And it forced me to kind of rethink really my entire identity. I, kind of then used the years after that was 7 years ago, to kind of figure out how I was going to kind of rebuild my life and figure out what I wanted from it, which was, to be able to be successful professionally, but also to be able to enjoy my life and make an impact in the world. And so over the past really 4 years, I've dedicated, I left my career in New York, and I've dedicated my time and energy in investing in figuring out how to do that, how to achieve those. And so that led me to move back to my hometown here in West Palm Beach, and which is where I met my business partner. And for the past 3 years, we've been developing the model for 81C.
That's really amazing. That's a really good story. So you've basically had a really steep learning curve getting into this, and you've had a lot of change over the last few years, but now you're ready to open this up out to the world.
Yes, we're excited about it. It's been, we've been building the foundation for quite a number of years and testing different prototypes of how we could operate these businesses at scale. How do we, make an opportunity that's appealing to entrepreneurs to want to kind of join what it is that we're doing, and how to create and drive the most value for our end investors, which is where the blockchain piece of this came into our business. So we like to say that we're blockchain enhanced, not blockchain dependent. And the global scale of blockchain and the fact that it kind of takes out the need for the middleman, which means that the value that we're able to drive from our business and through our, the security token offering is delivered right down to the investor without any of the, intermediaries taking out the pieces in between.
I've got you. And what about your mindset? Have you always been an entrepreneur? Have you always been searching for the next greatest thing and the next big investment opportunity?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I would say I've always had an entrepreneurial mindset. I was the only person in my family to go leave the entrepreneurial world and work in the corporate America. And so I would say that for me, I've always approached everything I did with that mindset, but it wasn't until, like I said, 3 or 4 years ago when I moved back down here to really start dedicating time to figuring out what I wanted to do, and then met my business partner, Dan, that we started to kind of, put this model together. This was something that Dan had from the business structure and the way that we're the infrastructure of our company, the ability to operate and scale, infinitely almost, the number of businesses that our financial model is set up for, was something that Dan had been working on for quite a number of years. And so we connected over that and then added the layer in of financial inclusion, and how do we kind of make that, if we were able to scale, a business, to a significant number, what would we do with all that value that we created? So for us, the important part is that whereas in most public to private run-ups, or private to public run-ups, there is a number of different, investors or intermediaries that get involved that are able to extract a lot of the value from when a company starts, at zero until it is available on the public market. And the difference or the uniqueness of our business model is that everything's available to the public from day one. So as we're building this business from scratch, and although we have one business within our company now, that it will be available. We have taken no private money. Everything that to get the business to where it is today was privately funded by Dan and I. Other than that, everything else was available to the public from the day that we launched it.
Wow, that's pretty fabulous. And so what's the process you go through? So you come up with this idea, probably in the pub, over a few beers or something, or wine, and you come up with this idea. How do you actually start going about the business? Because you can't just create this. There must be standards you've got to adhere to. There must be something like the SEC wants to know about this.
Yep. Yeah. So on the operational side, we've taken a few of the businesses that we own, and we've been testing out over the past few years what would need to happen from a process and procedure standpoint, what type of management we would need to have in place, how we would set it up. And ultimately we're able to create a model that would allow our entrepreneurs of the businesses that we are looking to bring into our company to continue to run and operate their companies as they have been prior to joining 81C. And so we basically for the past 2 years have been working hand in hand with our securities attorneys and our accounting firm to create, everything is process first. So none of this works if it's not built from day one to be able to be scaled to a significant level. And so we've been building the infrastructure of compliance, the infrastructure of operations, and how do we own and operate and scale the business units that we bring into our portfolio or into our company, and then how do we drive public demand? So that's kind of the last big piece is if there's no public market, if we haven't been able to create excitement around and desire for people to participate in what it is that we're doing. And so those are kind of the big 3 things that we've been focusing on for the past few years. And we feel like we're at a point right now where we're really ready to bring it to you guys. We're excited.
Fabulous. I'm excited as well. This is certainly a good venture. So how far are you on this journey? Have you got people testing the platform? Is it just coming up? Where are we?
Yep. So our security token offering is live now. You can visit our website, 81c.com, and go, it'll bring you to the platform that we're working with in order for people to be able to invest. You go, and minimum investment is $500. And right now we're doing it through the regulation CF. And so we'll be able to leverage that regulation for now while we go through the full path of regulation A+ tier 2. We're also working with and looking into international opportunities and to be able to scale the opportunity for investors to participate all over the world. So 81c.com, 81-c.com will be the place to go right now for everyone to be able to check out our white paper and also see where they're able to go and invest in our security token.
So that's number 8, number 1-c.com.
Yep.
And that's where people go to find out more information, look at the white paper and get involved, because it's certainly something which sounds like a good investment opportunity, and it sounds like a good way to actually invest. What's the minimum sort of investment you can put in?
So the minimum for now for this CF raise we have at $500, and then going forward will be as we look to in our long view of, and this we're in this for the long game, we're not in this for the short money grab, is to really build an ecosystem of investors and entrepreneurs all over the world who are able to support each other in opportunities that have never been presented before, because most people around the world have not been able to invest in private businesses until this. And so we hope to be able to create products that allow people who right now don't necessarily see themselves in a place of being able to invest, as well as entrepreneurs who aren't necessarily aware of how they would be able to take advantage of a public market. And so the current situation, like I said, is set up right now at $500 minimum, but as we roll out, there'll be different opportunities and products for more people to get involved at even lower investment levels or in installment plans and stuff like that.
That sounds fabulous. And what about your marketing? How do you market this apart from utilizing the very good podcasts available around the world? Of course, other podcasts are available.
Yeah. So we've been working for a bit of time now, and we'll be majority of the money that we're raising, as in addition to obviously using it to scale our operational side, is put into driving the demand side of our business. So we have a team of expert marketers that are helping us to drive excitement for really the vision of what it is that we're doing. Like I said, that this isn't we don't look at this as an investment product and something that people should look at as, this is an asset backed. It's backed by, it's not speculative. It's real companies that are owned and operated that you can walk into the doors and see the businesses that they are, that exist. And so for us, it's really about making people aware of that. I think right now, as we get started, we're really, looking to, partners like you, people who really understand the ICO and blockchain world, who are excited about, kind of what is coming next as STOs start to roll out. And then we have been doing a lot of research and surveys and kind of trying to understand where people's mindsets are in investments. And so for us, it's about turning people who have never considered themselves investors into investors. And so there's going to be also a long education process as well as we go. So we kind of have our, kind of what we call the low-hanging fruit of our investor targets, of people who are either excited or passionate about the ICO, crypto, blockchain world, or are already hobby investors on the stock market or in other areas, and be able to communicate with them about a new asset class that we're unrolling and that's available to them. And then as the long term of our business goes, it's really about being able to connect with and educate people who have never made maybe an investment ever in their lives, or maybe make a little bit more of a passive investment through their employers, like a 401k. So that they understand the opportunity that we're presenting, and also educate them that there's other opportunities out there, and that having a active role in your investing life is really beneficial to you, in the long run.
Absolutely. Have you got any competitors out there?
I would say that, of course, everyone's going to say there's no one doing what it is that we're doing. I would say that there's elements of what we're doing that have been done, over and over again. For us, we look at kind of all the other investment opportunities as competitors, but really more so supporters of kind of what it is that we're doing. So I think that, you look at anywhere else that anybody can invest money would be a competitor because they're choosing to put their money there versus to put their money with us. So I would say we look at, we welcome all of those opportunities, because I think anything that's educating people and getting people excited about investing and making them aware of that process only helps our cause. But I think ultimately, at the end of the day, anywhere where anybody can put their money, if they choose not to put it with us, then they would be a direct competitor to us.
So what's the vision? Have you got a 2-year plan, 5-year plan? How do you see this going forward?
Yep. So, like I said, the crowdfund is live now. We're on the process for Reg ACF, which then obviously expands our pool, the amount of money that we're able to raise per year, from 1.07 to 50 million. So we're going through that process right now with the SEC. We're also working internationally with different countries who are streamlining their processes for the regulatory processes for getting the security token offerings able to be offered to their, within their countries. And so we are going through that process now. While we're doing that, we'll take that time to really build out the community aspect of what it is that we're doing. And so building a community for the long run of 81C is going to be really important, obviously, because this is something that we're going to continue to scale. And as we roll more business units into 81C and the opportunity gets bigger and there's more ability to release more tokens to be able to do that, then having people who are excited, anticipating, and ready to be, investing with us is going to be important. And so we right now we will be available globally in most global markets. We're really kind of starting to focus and tackle different markets, and then not only from a geographic area, but also from an investing target. And so we'll just continue to test different investor targets to, move out into different markets. And then as we go, like I said, we'll release different products that will help bring new investors into the fold that maybe have never invested or haven't had the ability to invest prior to this. And then we'll go from there.
Fabulous. So does this mean that your previously started fitness business is still going? Are you still keeping your hand in that? Or
So the fitness business was actually my family's business for 30 years. I'm sitting in it right now, and I'm going to work out in 9 minutes. So no, the fitness business is alive and well. We're working on kind of getting, we have a number of attributes that the companies within our business need to be at in order to be considered for to be a business unit within 81C. And so we're kind of working on that right now to figure out how we can get that business in here, because I think that would be a really it's the quintessential business that we're looking to be a part of what it is that we're doing. It's been around in our community for 30 years. We've had members and employees who have been here with us the entire 30 years. And so we're working on that, but that definitely is not going away anytime soon. So hopefully it'll be a part of 81C here shortly.
Well, and that's something we've always said on the blockchain show here. Only invest in your crypto if there are solid assets behind it. It makes a lot of sense. If you can you've got something tangible there that's worth something. Otherwise, what might happen? You might start a cryptocurrency company, die, and forget to give people the password to everybody's money.
I just read about
that would never happen, would it?
Before this call. Oh no! Yeah, no. I'll put my password. I'll give my password to someone.
Yeah, I think he's probably on an island somewhere, probably with Mr. McAfee or something like that. Allegedly,
for sure.
Who knows?
Let the conspiracy theorists run wild.
Oh, absolutely. He's fallen off the edge of the earth. Something like that. Who knows? Wow. Any questions, Ethan?
Well, it kind of makes me wonder if in the future there's going to be a type of cryptographic treasure hunter kind of people who try to find these old, crack these old passwords and get these old treasures. I don't know.
I was thinking that this guy has to have put this password somewhere. So like certainly everyone in his estate is like running around trying to figure out what is going on here. So that's an interesting thought.
Well, Ethan, we did a podcast about quantum computing and how eventually the blockchain will get cracked. So it's only a matter of time for computing to catch up, and then we can work out his password and get in. But yeah, I personally, from what I know of users, I would check for Post-it notes on the inside of his drawer or somewhere. I once went to a very good presentation about antivirus, and the guy there was quite old, but he worked on one of the first antivirus programs. He said, that's not the problem. The problem is users writing down their passwords. And it's funny, I have actually picked up 2 people on Facebook for doing a picture of their desk in the morning going, hey, this is my morning, look at me, I've got my coffee. And I'm like, you've got the system passwords and the accounts just there on a picture. What are you doing? So yeah, there's always that human element still, which we can't guard against. But you're right. So this sounds like something worthwhile investing in. It's 81-c.com. If somebody's got questions, can they email you directly, or have you got a team that they speak to?
Yep. hello@81-c.com is probably the easiest way if they're generalized questions. Anyone can email me at jessica@81-c as well. I think, hopefully people will find that we've done some extensive work in creating blog content around security token offerings. Our white paper is hopefully very thorough, but we're always, open to hear feedback. And if there's questions or comments, we are, always excited to hear what people have to say. For us, this is just, it's nice when you've been building something for some time to be able to put it out into the world and start to get reactions and start to hear what people have to say. And we're just excited to be able to start sharing it and to see what happens from here.
Absolutely. So we will pass on any comments. If you do have any feedback, of course, you can send them through the Blockchain Show here, and we will pass those on. And as I always say, we'll be watching this project with some interest and see where we go.
Thank you very much.
Not a problem. Hopefully we catch up with you in 6 months' time when the weather in Florida is stupidly hot, and we're remembering those days when we pulled out our jumpers and gloves.
Yep, for sure.
Jessica, thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you, Ian.
Not a problem. And thank you for downloading this podcast. Please, again, you know what I'm going to say. Tell your friends, your relatives, even your grandparents. Get them to download it, if only to listen to my dulcet tones and to find out what is actually going on in that crypto space. So thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah. Thanks, Ethan.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ian.
Thank you, Jessica. Speak to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.